I was scared. I was very scared. People know me. Like most people that know me are like, "Oh, you're so brave, you're so courageous, you're so confident." But I'm not always, but I was scared. But I just was like, "Well, I'm here now." So this was my first time on this side of the world in South America, but I had never crossed the pond
Right.
before. So, and then I was on the other side of the world. So it was like, not only am I as far as possible from anybody that I know, I've never been here before. I don't know what life's going to be like. I don't officially have a job. So everything was just kind of up in the air when I got here.
Manisha is an American entrepreneur and educator who found an opportunity by sourcing raw hair here in the villages of Cambodia. She is going to talk to us about how to thrive abroad, managing grief, but also finding inner peace. Manisha is amazing at sharing stories, sharing wisdom, and a little bit of laughter. So I know this is going to be a good conversation. But first, babes, you have to tell me, how did you get here?
Honestly, I don't know. I was supposed to move to Poland first.
Okay.
And about 6 months before I was supposed to move, I got a call for Cambodia and Costa Rica.
Okay.
So I looked into both locations, including Poland. And with Poland, I was going to be able to save, but I wasn't going to be balling. Like I wasn't, Costa Rica, it was like the salary that they were offering me, the rent to live, what I'm comfortable with was the same price. So Cambodia offered the best cost of living with the best salary, and then also the potential to make additional money with the hair industry. So that's how I ended up here.
Where did you move from?
Virginia,
Okay.
Richmond, Virginia. I'm originally from the 757. It's a city called Portsmouth, but it's a small city,
Okay.
like a little coastal town.
Babes, let's talk about food real quick because feeding kids should not feel like a burden, even though some days I'm told it does. My course, Feed Like a CEO, teaches you how to simplify meals and raise kids who actually eat real food without refined sugars, without ultra processed foods, and without the drama. We will cover changing how you think about food, routines, and how to raise kids that love food and will eat everything. I'm sharing exactly how I feed my twins because I know it can help you bring peace to your meal times. So, if you're ready to feed your kids and yourself with less stress and more joy, check out Feed Like a CEO because when you eat well, everything runs smoother, including you. And tell me, what was your life before you were moving?
Before I moved, I worked. Where did I work? I would do like different jobs. I've had a million jobs, honestly. I don't like to work for other people.
Okay.
So when I would apply for a job, I already had an exit plan on the day that I applied.
Oh,
Like,
Lord.
okay, I'm going to work here. I'm going to save up this amount of money, do this, and then this is going to get me to the next point so then I can do this.
Right.
But my goal was to always to get right here where I am.
Okay.
So it was more so me trying out things, trying to see what could I do to make money that I could make this money from anywhere.
Okay.
If it would tie me down to one spot,
You weren't feeling it.
I would stop.
Okay.
I would be like, no, this isn't going to get me where I want to go.
And what were the jobs that you were applying for in Poland, Costa Rica, and Cambodia?
A TEFL teacher, same job.
Okay.
Yeah, all three countries I was doing TEFL. It was through a company, a shell company that offered all over the world. They could place you in any country, Dubai, Bali, but I don't have a degree.
Okay.
So Costa Rica, Poland, and Cambodia were the three that were like, okay, no degree, that's fine. She has all her recommendations because I was working in a school in America. So it's not like I didn't have any experience. Yeah. And I came with a lot of recommendation letters from like the principals and my prior teachers. So I guess I kind of slipped through the cracks.
And when you applied for these jobs, because you said that as soon as you apply, you have the exit strategy, how long were you expecting to be here in Cambodia?
I'm an only child.
Okay.
And I told my mom I was going to come for 6 months.
Okay.
I never planned to stay for 6 months. I actually never planned to go back home.
Oh, no?
I never planned to go back home, but I didn't know I would be here this long.
Okay.
I thought that I was going to do a travel vlog like you see online.
Right.
And I was just going to travel around and I was going to do this for about a year because I do enjoy kids.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm going to teach for about a year and then I'm going to start my travel vlog.
Why did you lie to your mother?
I didn't lie. It's just she has very bad anxiety.
Okay.
So it's like I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't have the capacity to make room for her anxiety as well. So I just told her what I needed, what she needed to hear, until I could figure out what I wanted.
Sure.
But she ended up visiting, and she became very comfortable with Cambodia. So then once I told her, like, hey, I don't think I'm coming home,
she was cool.
She was fine with it.
Right.
She was like, okay, well, I got your location, and I know where you are. I can, like, she would watch my location move on the phone. On the phone. So that just made her more comfortable, and I just been here ever since.
How long have you been here now?
2 years.
Okay.
2 years as of June.
As of June.
I came June 19th, 2022.
Tell me when you first land in Phnom Penh.
I landed in Siem Reap.
Okay, so you landed in Siem Reap.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that first experience. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you smelling? How are you feeling?
I was scared.
Yeah. I
was very scared. People know me. Like, most people that know me are like, oh, you're so brave, you're so courageous, you're so confident. But I'm not always, but I was scared. But I just was like, well, I'm here now, so I gotta figure it out. Scared? This was my first time on this side of the world.
Okay.
So as we talked about, like, Americans, we usually do like the Caribbean. I had done like Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica. I went to Jamaica a few months before I moved here.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jamaica, all across the Caribbean and South America, but I had never crossed the pond before. So, and then I was on the other side of the world. So it was like, not only am I as far as possible from anybody that I know, I've never been here before. I don't know what life's going to be like. I don't officially have a job. I'm going through a program, and then they're like placing you with a job. So everything was just kind of up in the air when I got here. I just was like, well, I know that I could be a teacher, and I know that I could sell hair.
Right.
And I started looking for hair when I got here. Before I even started my teaching program, I was like, well, okay, let me try to figure this out, like, just in case this doesn't go well. And I met a woman, and she took me to all the hair vendors around. She sold hair in Namibia.
Okay.
And from there, it just kind of took off.
So when you came for the teaching program, you always knew that the long game was the hair game.
I knew that the hair game was a possibility.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm going to get in hair. This is my dream. My dream is to own a hotel.
Okay.
But I knew hair was here.
Right.
I knew it was possible. And I'm the type of person, I'm always thinking about how can I make money off of something. Like, oh, my mom is a really good cook. So I'm always like, oh, Mom, you can make this sauce. You can sell it.
Sure.
And she'll be like, I don't want to sell it.
Right.
I just want
to cook, man.
Yeah, I just want to cook. So I knew that, like I said, if something went wrong, I know I'm not a job person. I know I'm not the person that's going to sit and be committed to your company for 30 years.
Right.
So I just looked for what can I do to sustain myself, because people come with this dream that I'm going to be a travel creator, but you need money to travel and create. So I was like, I don't want to go that route and then spend all of my money, and now I have to go home.
Right.
So I looked for ways to make money before I looked for ways to spend money.
So hair was going to be the security.
Hair was going to be the backup plan.
Okay.
Yeah, just in case teacher didn't work out.
And what did you want to do with hair? Were you planning on having your own brand of hair that people bought? Tell me what part of the business, because hair is big business, babe.
Big business. So originally I wanted to sell hair. I was trying to sell hair, and I got some sales.
Like selling bundles?
Yeah, selling bundles. And closures, rentals, stuff like that. And I had got some traction back in my hometown.
Right.
But it's also a hassle to sell to individual people. So I switched over to sourcing, which there's not a lot of vendors in Cambodia, but there's quite a lot of hair collectors that are small. They're not online. They may just go, into their village and cut the hair. Then they may sell it locally. They don't ship it outside of Cambodia.
Okay.
So I started finding those little companies, because the only way you can get this hair is through me.
Okay.
So now that's what I do. I go, and you have to order at least 10 bundles or more, and I ship it out in bulk instead of like trying to keep track of this customer got 3 bundles, this customer got 4 bundles. It just makes it easier on me to deal with from a customer service standpoint.
So I'm trying to understand, you're teaching and then you're going out into these villages. You don't speak Khmer?
No.
You don't speak Khmer? Presumably they don't speak English.
Then I didn't speak Khmer. I can speak a little bit now.
Check you out, babes.
Yeah. I'm learning.
But in terms of negotiating like business, because it's another thing, like it's one thing to be like, hi, good morning, hi, like basic talk. And then it's another thing to be able to have like business type of conversations. So how are you navigating cross-cultural like business?
So when I named my company Immersive because I have really immersed myself into Cambodian culture. My friends are Cambodian. Like my best friend is Cambodian. She speaks Khmer. She lives in America now.
Okay.
Yeah, she moved to America.
Oh no, she left you.
Yes. But she moved to America, but she would help me like go to different places and negotiate.
Okay.
And now I have an assistant and she is Khmer as well.
Okay.
They both went to Canadian schools.
Okay.
So they're able to speak to my customer without an accent with clear understanding of what's going on. And my
Right.
customer can understand them, but then they can also flip and
Amazing.
speak to their own native language.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I just want to understand the vision. Is the vision, because you seem to always have something else in your
Yes.
mind. Is the vision to stay in Cambodia for the foreseeable and continue to grow this business? Or do you have another plan?
I'm actually trying to go to college right now.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I really want to just understand. I'm really into marketing. I love marketing, but I want to understand the science behind it.
Okay.
And just get more technical. So when usually my marketing is based off of this vision that I have in my head, but I want to be able to fine tune those visions to make sure that I can get to my hotel status.
So the hotel is still the plan?
The hotel is like my life goal.
Really?
Like once I get a hotel, I'll feel like I made it in life.
Why do you want a hotel?
I actually want a resort.
Okay.
I want a resort and I want to basically cater to women. It's a haven in my vision. It's a haven for women, and I will incorporate the hair into that, where you come and you just be pampered.
Okay.
It's nothing but women, and there's community baths and spas and salons where you can get, if you want the hair installed, you can get the hair installed. You can get it maintenance, but just somewhere that we can be women, and you don't have to be a mom here. You're not a daughter here. You're not a girlfriend here. You are just you. And I wanted to bring in like spiritual people where you can figure out, like, if you have some blockages, you come here, you figure that out, you get pampered, you get a massage, you go get some water, you go to sleep. Like,
Sure.
just somewhere that,
Will it be
there's
here in Cambodia?
nowhere. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Mm.
I'm thinking Cambodia. I don't see why not. I feel like a lot of people don't come here. It's not on their travel list, but there's so much to see. There's so much to do that isn't advertised online. That's another reason why I did the hair tour, because you'll see like the floating village and stuff like
So
that.
you take people
online.
on hair tours?
Yes.
Right. And then would you take them to your villages that you go to source hair? How does the hair tour work?
So the first hair tour, I first took them to all of the collectors and vendors that I knew in the city.
Okay.
Then we flew to Siem Reap, and I took them to some collectors and vendors there. We went out into the province and they cut the hair themselves. And then
You're not scared of going steal your business?
You can't. I feel like my business model is largely based on my personality.
Okay.
So you can start selling hair. It's not like I'm the only person that does it. Like I told you, the other lady, she started running hair tours.
Sure.
But if you're coming and you want to see Cambodia, I've been here for 2 years. So you really can't steal it. You can sell hair.
Right.
You can source hair. You can do whatever you want to do. But I've built a business to where, like I said, I'm not going and showing you the people who won't ship it outside of America.
Sure.
So the only people that you're going to get are the people that, you could find it online if you look hard enough.
Right.
That's not to say that these vendors are widespread, because a lot of them just started. Some of them are small family businesses and they can't handle a large capacity of business.
Sure.
But I'm never going to give you an opportunity to X me out.
I don't think of Cambodia and hair. To be honest, I'm not like knowledgeable. I'm not a hair person. I wish I was, but I'm not. But I don't think, when I think of hair, I do think of Indian hair. And so I don't think of the Cambodian market. Do you think that helped your business, or is there within the industry a perception of Cambodian hair?
I think what really helped me is that it's highly sought after, but it's hard to find.
Okay.
So it's like, even, like I said, even if these women come here and they do whatever they do and it's not favorable to me, at the end of the day, America isn't even my biggest audience because people all over the world want this hair.
Okay.
So if I could say, like, now I don't do business in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
At all.
What do you mean?
Too many scams. Like,
literally.
Every customer I've ever worked with from Atlanta, Georgia has scammed me in some way.
So if I connect with you, I'm like, hi, babe, from Atlanta. You're just like, bye, Felicia.
I wouldn't say bye, Felicia, but I may recommend you, or I may say, hey, just buy the vendor instead.
Okay.
So you can work directly with the vendor.
Okay.
But I don't want to be the middleman for you if you live in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Like, it's just way too much
Have you
going
blacklisted anyone else?
No, just Atlanta right now. Just Atlanta. Just because I've had too many experiences, like at least 7 experiences with 7 different women that it all resulted in some sort of like me having to scramble, or me looking for them, or me going through the banks and trying to do chargebacks. It's just like, it's a hassle that I told you, I'm a woman of leisure. I don't like to be hassled. I don't want to be stressed out. So if you're stressing me, I don't have time. And I feel like people in America are so used to it being like, as long as you have money, then I'll do whatever for the money.
Right.
But in Cambodia, it's not like that. Because I feel like I became this way from living in Cambodia.
Really?
Whereas if they don't want to do it, they don't care how much money you're offering them. They're not going to do it.
Okay.
They're just going to say no. They're not going to recommend you to anybody else either. They're just going to be like, no, I can't do it.
What else culturally do you think that you have gained since you've been
Cambodia?
here? Yeah.
I definitely think patience.
Okay.
I think I'm more patient and I'm less aggressive.
Oh.
In America, I was very like aggressive. Just like you're always in danger.
Okay.
So you need, and I'm small. I'm 4'10".
Are you only 4'10"?
Yes, I'm 4'10".
Oh, Bubba, you look good.
So I need to look scary in some way. Like I need to look like,
don't play with me.
Yeah. So I could never just be my bubbly self because I'm always on guard, just trying to make sure like I'm safe. But now I don't have to do that. Like I feel very safe in Cambodia. I live a slow, easy life. And I feel like a lot of people look at Cambodia and they think, like everybody here is poor. Like I get that online and like, oh, you moved there, they're poor, but they're not poor. They enjoy their rural life. They enjoy the slow life. They enjoy a simple life. And if you tell them like, oh, why don't you move to America? They have, I don't know, dishwashers. Sure. They're not moved by that. They enjoy their life. Every chance they get, they go back to the province.
Okay.
They live in the city to work, but a lot of these people live in the province and they enjoy being out in the province and just being around their family and the chickens running around and, just that country life.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think now, I always wanted to live in a big city, but now I'm like, I want to move to the country.
Do you feel that Phnom Penh is big city vibes and you'd move out? Or do you think that Phnom Penh is a balance of big city but still country vibes?
I live on the outskirts of Phnom Penh.
Okay.
So in the city, I feel like you definitely can have that city feel. If you live smack dead in the city and you don't really venture out to the outskirts, then it will feel like a big city. However, once you go out to around Aeon 3, that's when it starts to get rural. Like I was riding down the street the other day and there were cows running down the street. So we were like ducking the cows and the tuk-tuk. And those, you can't have both of those experiences here.
Did you teach in Siem Reap?
No, my program was in Siem Reap.
And then you moved to Phnom Penh.
Yep.
Can you tell, I've never been to Siem Reap. Can you tell me how they differ?
Siem Reap is the country.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the country. It's just more cultural experiences in Siem Reap. Whereas here, this is more modernized.
Right.
You can tell that there's been Western influence here and influences from other places, whereas Siem Reap is like stepping back into time.
Okay.
And you are in rural Cambodia. I feel like when I'm looking at the old pictures of Phnom Penh, that's probably how it is now in Siem Reap.
Sure.
It's a lot of sacred places in Siem Reap, a lot of places where people go for spiritual healing, and a lot of opportunities to do art. Like they have pottery classes, or you could visit like their ancient waterfalls, their museums. I do think if you're coming here just to learn about Cambodia, I would start in Siem Reap because a lot of their history can be found, like even to this day, things that they reference in the National Museum, you could find them. You could still go there today,
Sure.
but it's in Siem Reap.
When you came, did you feel that it was an easy adjustment?
Yes.
Why
I think
did you
it was
pause so
pretty
long?
easy. I think because I'm trying to think of like everything that I've been through since I've been here. And of course, there's been some differences. It's not like, oh, I'm back home and it's fine. But the differences weren't anything that made me consider leaving.
Okay.
It was small things like the bidet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like we don't have bidets in America. So trying to learn how to use the bidet would be something, and you're out and there's no tissue in here.
Yeah.
But now my whole entire outfit is wet because I don't know how to use the bidet. So it was small things like that, or like they don't use washcloths here. So the washcloths are expensive. The towels and washcloths are expensive.
Okay.
And things that you are typically cheap in America, like kitchen utensils, are expensive. But then some things that
I didn't
are
know that.
yeah, like
So
pots and
that's
pans
why
are
when I'm
expensive.
booking into these Airbnbs, there's no utensils.
No,
I just thought it
well,
was people weren't cooking.
the what's it called? The eating utensils, like forks and spoons.
Yeah.
Those are cheap.
No. I'm talking like to cook with. So
The
your
pots?
spatulas, the pots, the pans.
Yeah, the pots and pans are usually expensive. If you
Okay.
want something that'll last, you can
Right.
get
Sure.
cheap ones, but your food probably gonna burn on it. It probably burn with the food too.
But in terms of culturally, because let's be honest, the average American doesn't have a passport. I can't remember what the percentage is, but a lot of Americans don't have a passport, right?
Yeah.
Because when I went to college in the States, for so many people, seeing universities was the first time they were leaving their state to go and see what was out there.
Yeah.
And so the idea that you didn't just have the passport, do the Caribbean thing, but then came to Cambodia, I think is such a huge move. And I understand that because you've done it, you might not see it as a big deal, but I'm trying to understand what your mentality was. Did you ever feel that America was home?
No.
Okay.
My mom said in the 3rd grade, I came home and told her that I was leaving America.
And what age is 3rd grade? Like 9? No,
Yeah,
maybe
I was
7?
probably about 7 or 8 at that
And you
point.
told your mother?
Yeah, like I had learned about slavery, and I was like, I don't think I want to be here. And I kind of held on to it for the rest of my life. It wasn't, once I made the move, it wasn't necessarily about slavery
Sure.
per se. My dad would always travel with me as a kid, so I wasn't new to travel. And traveling the state wasn't appealing to me anymore.
Okay.
It was when I was 18, I called my mom one night and I was like, Mom, I'm on the way to Atlanta.
Okay.
I had got on a bus, like, and it became constant where I would just call my mom, hey, I'm on my way to Canada. Hey, I'm on my way to Jamaica. I'm going here on Friday. Until like traveling is cool, but I didn't want to come home.
Okay.
I didn't want to come back to America. I would get sad when my trip was over. But when I knew that Cambodia was a good place, because when I leave Cambodia and I go on vacation, I can't wait to get back to Cambodia.
Really?
I'm like, when am I going home? Like, if I'm here too long, I'm excited for the first few days.
Sure.
And then I'm like, I'm ready to go back home.
What is it about Cambodia that feels like home?
I think it is, nobody cares. Like nobody, I felt this way about Philadelphia too.
Okay.
Where nobody cares, nobody's in your face, in your business, trying to figure out who you are, what you're doing. Whereas when I'm in Thailand, it still feels like America. It's still, when I'm in Singapore, it still feels like America. Versus Cambodia is just like, they're not wrapped up in American politics.
Right.
Whereas everywhere else, like, they're looking at us. They're looking at our president, our issues, what's trending, what's this. I don't see a lot of people in Cambodia worried about that. They're just living their lives. They, they like their K-pop, they like their hip hop, they like it, but it's not to where they have now lost their own culture. Okay. Because they're so wrapped up in American culture. And I see that a lot in other countries that I go to. So I guess I just like the fact that they stay themselves. They don't allow certain things to be legal because they want to preserve their culture.
Like what?
I don't know if I can say it.
Oh, no? Okay.
Yeah. Little Mary Jane.
Okay,
Something
cool.
like that. Like certain stuff, but other stuff as well. But stuff like that, like that Thailand has legalized
Okay.
and other surrounding countries, they really want to maintain their culture. It's really important to them. And I just admire that in the people where the option is to either make crazy money or to preserve your culture and your people, and you value your culture and your people and your history over the dollar, the US dollar at that, because that's what they use here.
Right. Yeah. Why do they use the US dollar here?
It's a dual currency system.
Okay.
So they use real, but it's not really worth anything.
Okay.
So they use the US dollar. I'm not sure why though.
I didn't know until I got here, and then I
Yeah.
saw like menus and everything in US, and I was like, oh, I don't have no US money.
Well, your money goes further if you have euros.
But it's interesting that they're not wrapped up in American like politics, and yet they still have a dual policy where they're using the US dollar. Do you think that Cambodia will remain home?
I'm not sure if I'll stay.
Okay.
But I want a castle, so I probably won't stay. I really want a castle. I want an old castle and I want to renovate it. So I probably won't stay unless I do the hotel here.
Okay.
If I do the hotel here, then I'll probably stay and just stay in the countryside. So
Do you think that because you grew up an only child, you're cool with being in spaces that, not necessarily that you're isolated, but this idea that no one's in your business, right?
yes,
Do you think that that came from growing up as an only child?
I definitely think so. And my mom was always adamant about, you don't need to let everybody know everything about you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've always been like, we're cool, but don't
We're not that
ask me.
cool.
Yeah, like we're not that cool. Or like, I don't like when people ask me a bunch of personal questions.
Okay.
Like if
And
I
yet you're
tell
sitting
you,
across from me, and I'm going to be asking you lots of personal
We-
questions.
but it's not too personal.
Okay.
Like, oh, are you still in a relationship?
Okay.
Like it's not
Like gossipy.
Yeah, like gossipy, like something that I feel like it's not something that I would outright tell you.
Okay.
If I don't outright tell you, I don't want you to ask either.
Sure.
It's more so that thing. But I'm also very close with my cousins because my first cousins,
Right.
and I grew up with them. So if I need a companionship, if I feel like I'm missing that, then I go to family first.
Okay.
I have friends, and I have friends that have been my friends so long that I don't know how we became friends, but I'm just more so wrapped up in my family, I guess. And they're all wrapped up in their families too.
How do you manage being wrapped up in family and being so far away from them?
FaceTime.
Okay.
I FaceTime them all day.
Really?
I don't care what's going on. I don't care what time of the day it is. Answer the phone, especially my mom. Like it'll be 2:00 in the morning. I don't care. Answer the phone. You don't have anything else to do but be my mom. Like, and then I have a brother on my dad's side.
Okay.
So I call him a million times a day. What are you doing? He got a baby on the way. So I never thought I was gonna be an aunt,
Okay.
and now I'm about to be an aunt. So I'm excited about that. And I'm just constantly in their business, and they never leave me alone either. Like if I don't call anybody,
Sure.
then they'll start calling me.
So you don't ever feel that you're missing out?
Yeah, even in our region, crabs is a big thing, like blue crabs.
Okay.
So I'll just go to the market and get crabs and cook my own crabs.
Oh.
And I'll sit on FaceTime while they all eat crabs and I eat crabs in Cambodia. So it's been a cool experience as far as like managing being over here alone, because before I left, I moved like an hour and a half away from home.
Okay.
So I was already not there.
Sure.
And then I was always the family member that, you know how they say like the cousin that doesn't show up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably not gonna come anyway.
Okay.
Like I'm probably not. My mom always had gatherings as kids, and as a young adult, I felt like I don't need to come to any more cookouts. Like you guys have been in my house every day since I was born. I don't need any more cookouts. But now that I'm older, I definitely see the value in, having that time.
Sure.
Versus when I was early 20s, I was like, please kill the noise.
I know you said that you were diagnosed with ADHD.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So it means different things for different people. My ADHD is me being inattentive.
Okay.
So if I'm not interested in it, it's basically like I can't do it.
Okay.
So I have to find ways to make things interesting to myself. But it also means that I'm interested in everything.
Okay.
So it's like I'm interested in everything, but the things that I'm not interested in, I want nothing to do with.
Right.
And it would be, I may want to start this business, but there may be a specific part of this business that I don't want anything to do with.
Right.
So then I don't do it.
Okay.
And it was me, the depression from the undiagnosed ADHD came from me having these big dreams and having these big ideas, but not being able to follow through, because once I hit a point that I was no longer interested, I just
couldn't get over that hurdle.
Yeah, I couldn't get over that hurdle.
Okay.
But now, me being conscious of the fact, I can push myself because I'm more intentional about it now.
Right.
Whereas at first, I was just it was kind of controlling me.
What age did you feel that you were in this depressive space?
I started being depressed when I was like 15.
And also, what does depression mean for you? Because I feel like a lot of times in this world, people throw around like buzzwords.
Yeah.
And it's such a unique experience. I'd love to understand what it means for you.
For me, I just felt like I didn't feel like myself.
Okay.
I felt mean. I was very mean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very mean. Like, I don't want to engage.
Okay.
Very overstimulated at all times. I couldn't handle too much conversation. I would sit in my room for hours and hours, and my mom would come in and say, "Are you depressed?"
Okay.
And I would tell her no. But now that I'm an adult, we laugh about the fact that she asked me, was I depressed? Because she would be like, "You were 15. How would you know if you were depressed?
Sure.
How would you know what depression is?"
Yes.
But at that time, we were both young, so we're just like, okay. But also on top of that, just not being able to show up, not only for myself, but for other people. Like it felt like a hassle to be social. It felt like a hassle to go outside, to attend birthday parties,
Right.
even my own birthday party. I had a birthday party one year and I was upset because I did not want to be bothered.
Sure.
And it was just like, I'm just in the house and I'm sad and I don't know why. I'm just sitting here in the dark.
What age were you diagnosed with ADHD?
25.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I went a long time without knowing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then when you were diagnosed, did you feel a sense of relief because it gave words and meaning to the feelings that you didn't necessarily understand?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I felt relieved, but I also felt like something's wrong. I had that urge of like, I'm an only child. I don't know if everybody feels this way, but I always felt the pressure to be perfect.
Okay.
Like growing up, I always got good grades and I was just a good kid. So my parents thought I was a good kid. I was a good kid. And so I was just used to always being looked at as, perfect.
Right.
But then it started to be like, okay, there's something wrong, and I had that whole insecurity for about a month or two. And then I was just like, well, ADHD is giving me all these ideas. It gives me the spark. It
Right.
gives me the personality that I'm not. People always say, you're so calm. In the time of crisis, you're so calm. I'm calm because I don't care. I'm calm because I've already started thinking about something else. Like if I'm sad, ADHD swoops in and I think about something else.
Okay.
And the channels keep flipping. So it works. Now that I know, I kind of can make myself feel better. I can make myself get things done. I can just work with my brain now that I know how my brain works.
Okay.
Versus at first me not knowing and just taking everybody's advice. But these people don't have ADHD. So whatever they're giving me is not going to work for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So just, I can listen to myself now. I didn't trust myself before I knew.
Okay.
So now I can go after my goals because I trust myself. I know what I'm capable of and what I'm not capable of. And I have no problem outsourcing. So outsourcing has been a blessing in my life.
Because now when you hit that point where you know that you're not going to engage, instead of shutting down the whole plan, you're like, oh, I need to give that to someone.
Yep.
Okay. It's funny when people talk to me about outsourcing, especially in a business context, I'm always like, but outsourcing is a privilege, right? Because coming from a business background where you have to wear so many hats because you don't necessarily have all of the disposable income to immediately like outsource. I'm always like, but what about the people who can't afford yet to outsource because their business hasn't got to a stage where they have the cash flow? Because outsourcing takes money. How do you then get over the hump?
The money hump?
Yeah, because you can't outsource if you can't afford to pay somebody.
I don't have a money hump.
But in the beginning, you never had a money hump. So when you started your business in the beginning.
In hair?
Yeah.
No. Since I started my first month, I made like $1,000.
Okay.
And rent here is cheap. It's like the money. I also feel like life is so easy here because I'm making US dollars.
Okay.
And the money isn't a factor anymore.
Right.
I feel like life in America is hard because the money is there.
Right.
Like you need money to breathe in America. Literally, they're charging you for that. But here, I could make $1,000 a month and I'll be fine. I live like a queen.
Okay.
So before I came here though, I worked.
Sure.
Yeah, I worked in a school, but it was all in preparation for me to be here. So I just channeled all of my energy into making this happen. And I didn't outsource at that point.
Okay.
Because a lot of it was manual. It was just me like, okay, I know to go over there, I need money. So let me just do what I need to do to get this money so I can go. And then once I got here, I started with digital products. So the only money that I needed was $9.99 to pay for my Canva.
Okay.
And $20 to pay for my website.
Right.
And I like that. I didn't
Do
need
people
to.
really make money off of digital products? I feel like
Do
everybody is just like digital products.
Do they? They do. I started this girl, her name is Young CEO on Instagram.
Okay.
I think her name is like Lakia or something like that. But I started following her.
Okay.
And she was selling vendors. And I took a boot camp course with her. And then I started selling my own hair vendors.
Okay.
And that's what I said. I made $1,000 my first month. And then I told her I want to go into hair tours because nobody's here.
So when you say you're selling vendors, a list?
Yep.
Okay.
I just put all of the hair vendors that I found here, and make it pretty. Put it on a list.
Okay.
Download it as a PDF,
And people just buy the list.
People just buy the list.
Okay.
And it's just information. Just because the only other option is to scoundrel the internet.
Right.
And Cambodians don't really use the internet. They are a really, really established company. If you can go to www.whatevertheirbusinessis.com, they are a super established business.
Right.
That's not normal here.
Okay.
So even I feel justified in charging this because
I've done the work to get the information.
I've done the work. I've moved here.
Yeah.
Because I didn't just find them either. The lady from Namibia, she showed me a few, but it still took me having to pay people to get the information, driving around to provinces, sleeping outside. Like,
what do you mean sleeping outside?
I slept at a camp to meet these people for hair. That's something that I have coming though. But
hold on, explain.
Yeah.
Rewind. So you get a tip that there is a family or some people in a village with hair.
Yes.
And then you're like, I need to sleep outside?
No, so they'll be far. Sometimes it's far. Like I've traveled like 6-7 hours to go and inspect the hair because I have to make sure that this is the hair that I'm looking for.
Okay.
Because they have raw hair here, but it's not single donor.
Okay.
Meaning
they come
one
from lots
person.
of people.
Yeah, they come from lots of people, and then they strip the length and then make one bundle.
Okay.
But it's still raw. They didn't do anything to it.
Sure.
It's just not one person's hair.
And you want one person's hair?
One person's hair.
Okay.
It depends too, though, because I have some customers that are just like, as long as I can dye it, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So just trying to make sure that I have all of the resources that I can find. Really, at this point, I'm just gathering a bunch of resources, and whenever I need them, I pull from this toolbox that I've created. But I have to travel around the country in order to create this toolbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are people donating their hair? Is it just for money?
Yeah, money. I've had a girl come to me and she said it's hot outside.
Okay.
And I do find that that's common as well.
Okay.
Where it's hot and they're working outside. So, and you're here, you know how it feels.
Yeah.
And it's actually been cool.
Oh, really?
This is cool.
This heat, babes.
Yeah, this is cool. Like the most days when I'm outside and the sun is beaming, it's hot. It stings your skin. That's how hot it is. And a lot of them are just like, it's just too hot for me to work outside with your hair to your butt.
Sure.
And they don't have thin hair. They have very thick hair. So it's like you have a lot of thick, long hair on you. I seen a lady, she said that she was about to give birth and her hair irritated her
Okay.
during that process. So she cut it. I'm pretty sure it's for money for the baby as well, but also it does cause some of them discomfort.
Okay.
But I'm not going to lie, like a lot of them aren't doing it for money as
Sure.
well. Yeah.
Do you think that you get some bad press isn't the word, but you get some heat because essentially you are, could we say, a woman of privilege is going out into villages. People who need money are chopping their hair off to give it to you to make some money. And for some people, they might not like that dynamic. Or is that not the, have I like described that incorrectly?
No, you're right. The people do be mad. But my thing is, a lot of the comments that I've gotten are they come from a place of ignorance.
Okay.
Like, you don't really know what's going on. You don't really know the climate of Cambodia. You don't know these people's lives. You just see rural Cambodia and you think poor.
Right.
And they don't realize that you're offended by me. They're calling me. I have text messages. They're calling me. I'm not going out and saying, hey, if you want to donate your hair, I got some money for it. They are saying, hey, I got your number from somebody else.
Right.
I want to sell my hair. So you can be mad from whatever country that you're in. That's not really my business. I might banter with you in the comments to push the video, but I don't really care if you're upset, especially if the people that I'm here with, they're expressing gratitude. Because at the end of the day, they will sell those kids.
Right.
So do you want them to sell the hair or do you want them to sell the kids?
Like literally? They're not literally going to sell it in Picnic. Really?
You don't think, like my friend, she told me some kid, and this isn't even Cambodia specific.
Sure.
Some children are born already into sex trafficking. Like their life is already spoken for by the time they reach life. So it's just sometimes you're giving a young mom a chance. Like I've seen moms come out, her hair to her ankles, and she got a new baby, and she's like, this the only thing. I can't give her a job.
Sure. I
can't give her, what I'm saying? The only way that she has to make this money is to sell her hair. My hair was a pixie cut.
Okay.
My hair has grown longer than it's been in forever in Cambodia, from the products that I've been using. I don't know what it is. The water makes my hair grow a lot here, but their hair grows fast. So when I'm talking to Cambodians or they see my comments and then I see them in person, they're laughing at the comments.
Right.
Because they're like, well, we want money. It's not like you just stole our hair.
Sure.
You're giving us money. And I feel like I never wanted to go to work on no day, but I needed to do it for money.
Sure.
So I just feel like it's unrealistic to think that everybody around the world is doing what they have to do for money because that's what they want to be doing. And it's not like I came into their villages to, like I said, this wasn't even really my plan. This was a Black Up plan. I knew it was possible.
Sure.
But it wasn't like I came over here with this privilege with the intention to exploit these people.
Yep.
It just was, I saw that you guys needed help in Cambodia because it's not like they don't get scammed as well.
Right.
So I'm just the middleman. I'm the person that you can hold accountable for, except in Atlanta. I don't do business in Atlanta.
But everywhere else.
Yeah, but like in other places, I have a collector that I work with. He was able to buy a new house. And it's like, you guys don't see that it's helping them. The village that I went to the last time, they have built a few houses. They have cars now, which cars have 100% tax on them in Cambodia.
Okay.
So that means for you to have a car, you've made some money.
Right.
For you to be able to afford like a Ford Tahoe or even a Prius.
Right.
So I just feel like people are always mad on the internet about everything. Happy videos of babies, they're mad in the comments. A little girl, they're mad in the comments. Like it's the internet. They're always gonna be mad.
How do you find your customers? Or how do your customers find? That was my
Instagram. They find me. I've had a lot of word of mouth.
Okay.
And yeah, Instagram really. My mom does a good job of marketing for me too.
Big up, mommy.
She will share everything on her social media page. And then it kind of just like spreads like wildfire. So I join a lot of Facebook groups as well.
Okay.
And just talking about me living in Cambodia, that'll usually spark the conversation. Me living in Cambodia has done more for my business than anything. Because
Okay.
after they found out I live in Cambodia, even if I say nothing about hair,
It comes up.
they're going to ask me about hair.
Okay.
So then I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, well, I can get that for you.
Do you think that your business would have developed had you just visited? So let's say like you still lived in America, but you visited. Or do you think that for you to experience the growth and the success, it's because you were based here?
I think I could have had success if I did it in America, because I've seen women have success with it in America or
Okay.
other countries. However, I built an audience already because I lived in Cambodia. Because at first, my content was just about living in Cambodia.
Right.
It was just like, hey, I moved, this is my friends, this is my life, this is the food that I'm eating. But I'm a Black girl, and it was still a factor of what am I gonna do with my hair?
Right.
And that more so sparked it. I feel like me living in Cambodia and just trying to figure out what am I going to do with my hair. I cut it all off when I moved here because I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
So now it's like people just started saying, well, where is the hair? What are you going to do with your hair? And that's how I started selling the products, because I just started getting so many inquiries just from talking about my hair.
Okay.
Just from talking about how to keep my own hair looking cute.
How do you find hair products here in Cambodia?
Usually the grocery store.
Really?
Yeah, super duper. There's I guess it's a braiding shop called Azike, and they have a lot of products for our hair. Like if you want a relaxer, you can
I
get a
thought that
relaxer.
it would be hard. It's not hard. I don't see no Black
It's
people out here. Why are they
not.
having hair products?
There's a lot of Black people here.
Really?
Do you want to know something? When I first moved here, I thought that there weren't a lot of Black people.
Right.
I was like, oh, maybe they're staring at me because there's not a lot of Black people.
Right.
But there's a lot of Black people. I actually just moved from a Black neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't
Okay.
know why they're staring, honestly.
I thought they were staring because there weren't many.
No, after I learned that there were a lot of Black people here, I became less tolerant of the staring. Because I'm like, no, you guys, y'all know what we look like. Like, no.
Oh,
But
that's-
there's quite a lot of Black people here. And Super
Okay.
Duper is a Western grocery store.
Okay.
So you can find a lot of gels and like curly hair products
Right.
and stuff like that. And also Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook is really how Cambodia runs.
Okay. So in terms of your life in general, beyond hair, just overall health, you spoke a little bit about the food that you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell me how that compares between your life in America to here?
Ooh, I feel like here I'm way more open to what I'll eat.
Okay.
Like I said, my friends are from here. So when I lived in America, I'm from the South ish. And soul food is a big thing.
Mm.
Soul food is a big thing. Jamaican food is a big thing. And more so like Chinese food, but
Okay.
not the Chinese food that I eat here.
Okay.
Like here, it's a totally different, I feel like I have a different palate now.
Okay.
Whereas a lot of stuff that I would have never eaten at home.
Like?
Pho.
Okay, you wouldn't eat pho?
No, I'm
It's
not
just
a
soup.
I didn't eat soup at all when I moved here. I would be like, I don't want that. That's old people food. I don't
Soup
want it.
is old people food?
Soup is old people food. I would never eat it. I'm like, it's water and meat. I don't want that.
I thought you were going to say something more exotic, more...
Nah.
My girl said soup.
I would not eat soup.
You are
when I
not
moved
pushing
here.
boundaries by eating soup?
I would in my life. I was. But also like different kinds of fruits, meat, like beef. I ate beef, but I didn't eat it the way I do now.
Okay.
It would be a rare thing where like it had to be like a burger.
Right.
And that would be the best I had for you, honestly.
Right.
Maybe a steak, but hot pot, that's something totally different that I did not eat at home.
Okay.
Tofu, all different kinds of tofu.
Babe, you have given me nothing that
Nothing.
is interesting.
That's all I
You
got.
have given me normal food.
That's all I got. Because I mean, I was eating like chicken.
Okay.
Like I said, soul food. So soul food is a set food. And even then, I wasn't eating like cabbage. Like I would still pick through the soul food that I wanted. But now I feel like I try more things now.
Okay. Have you tried anything that would be objectively adventurous? Not adventurous by your definition, but by just the general public. So, for example, I took my girls to dinner a couple nights ago, and it was the first time that they had snails. And I feel like the average American, that would be considered quite adventurous. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if eating soup.
No, that's not adventurous for the average American.
Have you pushed any boundaries that we might be like, oh, that's interesting?
No.
No.
I haven't. I cook a lot. I enjoy
you do?
cooking.
Okay.
So if anything, I've went more into a meat and vegetable diet.
Okay.
Versus I used to eat a lot of cheese, a lot of cheese and dairy. That was more so my thing. Like I would, if you cooked a whole meal and macaroni and cheese was with that meal, I would just eat the macaroni and cheese, and then the other stuff you guys can have that.
Right.
But now I think I'm just eating more vegetables.
Cool.
So my mom, it's a big deal to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really excited.
Have you had any moments living here where you're like, nobody would believe this unless they were standing right beside me?
I feel like a lot of the views that I've seen.
Okay.
But one thing that was shocking to me is I went out to the mountains and they had cleared the whole mountain.
What do you mean?
Like they deforested the entire, like the trees were burnt down. It was for miles and miles and miles. And they were saying that this was all forest and it was just burnt down trees.
Why?
And I guess because they're gonna start developing there.
Okay.
But it was something to see. Just because when they were like, all of that was trees, this was the whole forest. And it stretched so far that I'm like, did you guys clear the whole forest? Like, are the trees okay? Where are they? And that's something that I really felt like people wouldn't grasp, or they wouldn't think about the fact that, you're going to these resorts, but this used to be a jungle. This used to be, somebody's home. And there's actually a tribe that just made human contact not too long ago out in those mountains.
Okay.
And I got to spend some time with them while I was there, and they're trying to learn, I don't want to say civilized, but
a different way
of life that is no longer living off the land, because now they've burnt the land down.
Wow.
So now they're wearing coats, and they're trying to learn how to work a job, and they're learning about money. And we were teaching them okay, when you have money, you have to make informed decisions with your money. Don't just spend all of your money, because they had no knowledge of how money worked. They were just bartering before they deforested the forest.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it feels like to have to completely relearn life.
Yeah.
In that way.
They would talk about the fact that their life was simpler.
Okay.
But it's still pretty simple in that area compared to Phnom Penh.
Okay.
Where there's not really too many stores, there's just markets and a few hotels. But I do feel for them in the upcoming years, just because that spot is a good spot to have a resort or have a hotel. And
do you think more of this is gonna happen?
Yeah, I think more. It has to, based on the way that they cleared that forest. That I was mind blown. I could not see any more trees. It was just burnt land.
I think the person that moves to Cambodia is a different kind of expat, if you will, to Thailand. Do you think that's fair?
I agree.
In what way?
I feel like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but people that move to Thailand typically want to be seen.
Okay.
They want to make the content. Usually it's going to be a content creator, or somebody who is very outgoing socially.
Okay.
Because you do have those social circles in Thailand. Versus in Cambodia, I feel like people that move here, from America, I should say, people that move here, we typically, everyone that I've met are loners.
Okay.
We're all I don't really need too many people around me, because I visit Thailand often.
Right.
But I like to have that control where
you can dip in and dip out.
And when I feel like being bothered, I can come be bothered with you guys. But when I'm here, it's kind of like a fort, because not too many people are coming here. It's expensive to fly here. You can fly to Bangkok for about $400 leaving America.
Okay.
But you can't fly here for $400. That's not happening. So it kind of gives you a sense of a shield. I be bothered with the outside world, and I want to be bothered with the outside world, because the outside world isn't really a factor in Cambodia. Okay. Even in their media and their food and their culture and their day-to-day life, Instagram has nothing to do with that.
Right.
You do see the younger generation starting to get online and
Okay.
starting to become influencers, but they're young, and I get it. But as far as, I feel like in America, you have 40-year-olds following Jada Waiter, and she's like 24.
Sure.
So I feel like it's not that imbalanced. Like the elders are still elders,
Right.
and then you have the parents that are still parents, and you have the kids that are still kids.
Right.
So it kind of gives you a sense of normalcy here. Whereas if you like the life where, if you have a nostalgia towards seeing kids outside, like I love when I go outside my neighborhood, there's kids outside riding their bikes, they're flying their kites. I'm like, come on, let's go to the Candy Lady. Like, I'm about to buy everybody a sucker or something like that, because I'm not used to seeing kids outside anymore.
Right.
So I think people here are looking for a more slower life.
Okay.
Whereas Thailand, you can basically live the same life in America as you do in Thailand.
I would 100%, especially for Bangkok. I
Yes.
notice people live, some people, not everybody, but some people live the same life in terms of their bubble, their comfort zone, the types of people they would speak to, and they've just moved it from one place to another, but they haven't actually
Evolved.
surrendered
Yeah.
themselves to their new environment.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that 100%. I think that people in Cambodia, it's a real different energy.
Because you don't have a choice but to immerse yourself into their culture. They're not bending to you because you're American or you're British or whatever the case may be. Now, you will have some privileges. You may get paid more than the average local.
Okay.
You may, like one of my apartments, I told them I don't want to pay a deposit.
Okay.
I want to pay this first month rent and move in.
Right.
And they were like, well, let me see your passport.
Okay.
And I did. And they said, okay.
Okay.
And I moved in. So you do have like small privileges, but on the grand scheme of things,
Nobody cares.
nobody cares. And they favor their own people over you.
Okay. Do you think Americans have a good reputation here in Cambodia?
I haven't heard anything bad about
Okay.
Americans. I haven't heard that we've done anything here.
Cool.
We haven't beat up any locals or anything. No pickpockets or anything. So I would say, yeah, I get a pretty good reaction to it. If anything, I get people surprised because I'm Black.
Okay.
Like they don't think that.
As in if they've been communicating with you prior to meeting?
No, like the first, I met a man in the market and he was like, where you from? And I said, America. He
Oh.
said, but you?
Okay.
I said, yeah, we over there too. We're not just in Africa. Like, we all over the world. So I do feel like a lot of them think that white people live in America. So if anything, that's the thing that they are like, oh, okay. Or I've had people be like, you sure you're not Nigerian? But I also have had people from the continent of Africa all over say, oh, you look like you're from this country. You look
Okay.
like you're from that country. I get Ghana a lot. You look like you're from Ghana. So I guess I can't blame the Cambodians if the actual African people think I'm African too.
Do you think that you've had any experiences specifically for being, whether it's, people love a box in the West, right? They love to put somebody in some box, whether it is the single child box, the ADHD box, the Black box, the female box, the business box. Do you think that culturally here in Cambodia, people have tried to place you?
No, not any locals.
Okay. Is that a
I've
part of why
had-
you like living here?
I do. I like living in a place where I feel like nobody cares about me. You don't care what I'm doing. You're not in my face. You're not trying to figure out what I have going on. In Cambodia is definitely that type of place where everybody is kind of wrapped up in their own lives to the point where they're not actively seeking anyone else's business. But I think Cambodians also are very family oriented.
Okay.
So I like being able to observe that. Like I've seen families have no electricity, but they have a kitchen table outside. So even though there's no electricity in that house, they're eating dinner together every night outside of the house at the same table, and they're using the street lights. And it's like you could look at it like, oh, they don't have lights, but I know people in America that don't have lights. So I'm not like, oh, I don't like to think of people with pity. I just look at the fact that, hey, you don't have lights. And at the end of the day, you still made it a priority to eat dinner with your family every single night. Whereas I feel like in America, they would just shift their focus to money.
Okay.
And I feel like money breaks down a society. And I don't think Cambodia cares that much about it. And I really admire that.
How have you changed other than the patience and, you know, if you had stayed in America, not traveled at all, do you think that you would have been able to find an inner peace? You talk a lot about like pouring into yourself, not doing things that are hassled, even if they could be financially beneficial. And I'm just wondering, do you think that you would have got to that destination just with age and time and wisdom?
Not without money, no.
Okay.
At America, I feel like you need a lot of money. And even if like you have money, you're dating somebody with money or whatever the case may be, it's really not enough. It's never enough. There's always something. And then once you have money in America now, because suing people is like one of the top ways to get rich in America.
Okay.
So now you're facing that where it never feels safe. And I feel like I was missing that safety. I would have never evolved into this person because I never would have felt safe.
Okay.
I never would have felt safe physically, emotionally, financially. And I feel like that security calms down your fight or flight. So now I don't have, like, if I hear a loud noise in America, I'm ducking.
Really?
Am I?
Really?
Do you know the gun laws? Do you know I walked in a gun shop with no permit and got a gun?
What you mean?
I walked in there. It was pink. It was pretty. I pointed it out. I paid for it and I took it home.
Literally.
No permit, no license. I don't even know if they did the background check on me. I mean, I did have to fill something out, but
Sure.
I don't even, it didn't take long.
It's crazy because the recent case in Minneapolis, sorry, there was a church. I don't know if you know because Cambodia don't have no news about America, but there was a church. It was a Wednesday. 2 children died. I can't remember how many were injured, and it was a shooting. And I posted a video because I saw an image of a lady running towards the scene, and the caption was that this lady is running to see if her child is okay. And there was something about the image that really struck me, right? And it reminded me of an interview that I had heard where a lady said her daughter wanted light up shoes, you know, the little shoes and you have the lights in the soles. And her daughter would have been like 4 to 6 in terms of age range. And the mother was explaining that she couldn't buy the shoes for her daughter because the first thing that came to her mind was if there was a shooting at school and her daughter had to hide, then her having these shoes that light up would make her a target. And I was sitting there and I was like, my head cannot get around what that real fear must be like to experience, right? Like, I can't imagine me trying to send my kids to school and being like, yo, you need a bulletproof, like, I didn't even know there were bulletproof backpacks until somebody else said that, oh yeah, I had to buy a bulletproof backpack. And people are speaking about it as if it's normal. And I'm like,
it is normal in America.
like, really though?
Yeah. Like, I don't.
But then someone else replied to this post and said, I don't think it has anything to do with the gun laws. I own a gun. I'm like, okay. And I'm, by the way, just to be clear, I'm not anti individuals owning guns, right? In Jamaica, we have the right to own a gun. It's not something that I worry about. And I don't think it is just the right to have a gun that causes these things from happening, because there are many countries in the world where you can own a gun.
Yeah.
This particular shootout mass issue is a very American issue. Yes, it has happened in a handful of places elsewhere, but it's a very culturally an American issue. And for you to describe being able to like get a gun easily, I think that has to come into play. I guess the thing I'm confused about, and you don't necessarily have the answer to this, by the way, because it's not for you to answer, but I don't understand what it would ever take for Americans to want a change. Because it seems like even with all of the shootings, even with all of these children who are losing their lives, there still seems to be, well, it's those people's children, it's not my children, so I'm fine with the law. And I'm just confused.
I feel like people, and Americans included, miss the fact that we live in a country that is built on hate.
Okay.
Like, people don't want to acknowledge the fact that the foundation of this country is built on hate. So we're never gonna, I don't see us ever. I mean, Martin Luther King had a dream and it was a nice dream, but I don't see America coming to a point where we make laws for everyone, because since the inception of America, we have never done that.
Okay.
We've never been a country that's for everybody. We've never been a country that cares about the entire country. We've always cared about our little sect.
Sure.
We have a very individualistic society where my friend from Cambodia is now there, and she's going through culture shock. And I prepared her as best as I could.
What are some of the things that she's telling you she's struggling with?
I guess just not feeling that, like, when I would go to her house, her whole entire family is downstairs.
Okay.
Like, they all live in the same house. That's not normal in America. We don't live in the same house. When you turn 18, you got to get out.
Right.
But she was, 25? And her grown siblings, her mom, her cousins, like, to get all in the house together, and they would do things together. They would go, like, I would call her, hey, what you doing? Oh, I'm at the park with my family. We're having a picnic. I'm not going to the picnic. Like, in America, me and my family, we would have outings. Don't get me wrong. Like, every month we would go and do something, or every summer we might go to Disney World and stuff like that. But it would be a random Wednesday. It feel good outside. So we're all going to go to Konaria and put a blanket out and eat food.
Right.
I think she just is surprised by the individualism in America, where she's like, she's used to family being a certain way, and now she's observing other families, and she's like, oh, that's not the same. That's different. And I guess just she works at a school, so I'm pretty sure she's seeing a difference in the kids, because the kids here, they're kids, so they curse, they do what they do, but it's way more respectful.
Okay.
Whereas I'm telling her, in America, kids will fight you as an adult. They don't have they'll fight their mom. So they definitely will fight you as a teacher. And she's adjusting
So there's not that same level of respect for the teacher-student dynamic.
For the adults, really.
Really?
I feel like in America, that's not to say that all of our children are disrespectful.
No.
But I definitely feel like America has a teaching shortage because of the students. The students are the issue, and the management. I feel like a lot of people and that was why I stopped teaching here and in America.
Okay.
Because I had an American boss here.
Okay.
Yeah, like my first year, my boss was Khmer, and then my second year, it was an American person that came, and they brought that American mentality to the school. And it's like, when you're dealing with kids, you kind of have to, okay, like, they need to learn, but you still need to understand this is a child, and they don't have the full understanding of the situation or the full awareness to make decisions with a sound mind.
Okay.
So when you are chastising them or disciplining them, you still need to do it from a spot of understanding that they don't understand.
Right.
And I think that's the difference. Like, here in Cambodia, I think they're already raised, because I'm not gonna say they're more understanding. They're not. I've experienced a lot of child abuse here from parents. But I guess, I don't know. You know how in America they be like, my mom with me and I turned out fine.
Right.
I mean, they know how to act at school. They get whipped at home, but they know how to act at school.
Right.
So I think she's just like seeing just like all the differences, and like traffic, cars, and yeah.
Do you think she'll stay?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think she'll stay. She's dying to get back to Cambodia.
Really?
Yeah. And that's another thing. I feel like Americans think that everybody's dying to get to America.
Yes.
And they are until they get there. And then they get there and they're like,
this is it.
Yeah, like this is it. And I love home. Like, I definitely feel like visit America, because there's some cool stuff to see in America, some cool experiences. We have fun in America. It's fun things to do, but at the same time, there's things that you're gonna have to consider as a mom, as a woman, even as a man. Like, as a Jamaican man, to go to America means now you're just a black man. That's what I was telling my friend. She's Cambodian and she's black, but she looks like a black woman.
Okay.
So I'm telling her, when you get there, you're black now.
Right.
You're no longer Cambodian and black. You're not mixed because they can't look at you and tell that.
Right.
You have 4C hair. Well, not 4C, like 4B, 3C, something like that
You
hair.
got some kink babes.
Yeah, like she got kink. It's not like, you know, the hair that I'm selling.
Sure.
So when you look at her, you're not thinking she's Cambodian. At best, you'll think she just light skinned.
Right.
So now she's pushed into black America. She's pushed into that position of you do need to be scared when you see the police.
Right.
Because the police not gonna know you Cambodian and black. They just gonna know you black. Or like I said, as a Jamaican man, when you come over there, you're now in that black man target on your back. That same target they have, you now have it too. And with our immigration situation now, like you could be shipped to a country that you've never been to this country. So I just feel like it's more things to consider in America. And back to what you said about like how it's changed me and me being more safe over here. I feel like I said, when I hear a loud sound over here, I'm not ducking. I'm not scared. When I'm walking at night by myself, it could be 3:00 in the morning and I see a man, I'm not scared. I don't have that fear of like, oh my God, he could drag me into an alley and do something to me. And Cambodian men are strong. They are small in stature, but these are strong men. Like they're lifting up refrigerators on their backs.
Right.
Because they don't have, you know, a lot of the tools that we have in America. So a lot of things that I feel like when people are online, and just to tie in like their comments and how I feel, when people are online, they're looking at the situation with an American mindset, but you only can grasp it based on what you've seen. But if you're not here and you don't know that I'm in the province and these people love living in the province, then you're going to say, oh, you're going to exploit them. They're poor.
Right.
They're not poor, babe. They paid more for their car than you pay for anything. You don't have a house. They have a house.
Right.
You'll probably never see a house. You'll probably never own a house.
A lot.
They built the house. They bought the materials. They don't have a mortgage. They might pay a utility bill, but you as an American will never see that life. So you're worried about them. You need to be worried about yourself. And I think people get offended when I say that. Like, you can't come and say, oh, they're poor, and you're on Section 8. You're poor.
Yeah.
You on food stamps. You're poor. If they took it away, you will be living in the same conditions as these people.
Sure.
People think they have more privilege than they actually do, but it's like these people over here aren't. That's not to say there isn't poverty, because there is poverty. I don't want to take that away. There is poverty. There is things that I've seen that I'd be like, oh my God, I want to help them so bad. Or even like seeing a woman on the side of the street, she sleep with her kids. I'm not about to let you sleep on the side of the street when I can get you a room for $10.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll go get you a room for $10. Or even I give you the $10, I don't care what you do with it.
Yeah.
But I know that, you know what I'm saying, I did what I could to help. But yeah, I think a lot of it is just judging the situation based off what you see online. I've heard people say, they were commenting under my post saying that I was holding Cambodians hostage in a concentration camp and shaving their heads. And that's how I was getting the hair. Yeah.
People are really creative.
People really are crazy. That's why you can't pay the comments any mind. You can't. Some people are getting paid for engagement.
Okay.
Some people are in a psych ward and they are literally just on here to exercise their brains for the day.
Sure.
So a lot of times I just be like, whatever. I've always been the type of person that people talked about. I've been talking about my whole life. So now on the internet scale, it's just like, I don't understand internet bullying because you can log out.
Right.
You can log out, I can block you, and the worst case scenario, we can get your IP tracked and you can go to jail for stalking. But I'm not going back and forth with the internet about what I think is wrong, what I think is right, because as long as I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong, there's no concrete evidence. Like now, if you come to me and say, this happened and this is because of you, then I'm going to accept the evidence and I'm going to adjust. But as for right now, I haven't done anything wrong. I've only seen my business help people. I haven't seen my business exploit anybody. I haven't exploited anybody myself. And everything I do is through Cambodian companies. Right. So even on the hair tour, every move that we make, a local Cambodian is profiting off of this.
Okay.
It's not like I'm really just your tour guide. And I'm taking you to these local businesses for you to patronize their business because it's hard for them to advertise. The literacy rate is low here. and in America. So they can't write it. You can't read it.
Yep.
You need something very simple like a video, which I'm going to provide, and a tour, which I'm going to provide.
What have been, if any, challenges with living abroad?
Definitely the deaths.
Okay.
My grandma has died. My great grandma died since I lived over here. My aunt has died since I lived over here, and I had 2 friends pass away within the last like 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I don't go home,
Okay.
and I feel like I don't go home because I'm one of those people that intellectualizes my feelings.
Okay.
So instead of me just feeling the grief, I will try to make it logical.
How do you make grief logical?
In a way of like with my grandma was old.
Okay.
So I knew eventually she was gonna go.
Right.
The last time I seen my grandma, she was so full of life. She was twerking. She was like in her 80s. So I just like to think of her in that light
Okay.
versus thinking of the fact that, because I wasn't gonna see her anyway, I was gonna be here.
Right.
So I kind of like, it's like logic and delusion
Okay.
mixed together. Whereas I can kind of act like I just haven't seen you in a long time.
Right.
And I don't have to think about it. But at the same time, I feel like it's different when it's family and friends. Because when my family dies, it feels like a power up.
Okay.
It feels like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I knew my grandma more than I ever knew her once she passed away.
Okay.
As if I could understand her more, or I don't know, she was telling me something. I don't know, but I felt her more in her death than I did in her present.
Okay.
But with my friends, I'm just kind of like that because we all young. We're all young, and it was also sudden. Both of them were sudden. One girl, I was just talking to her, and then she got into the car accident that night. She passed away. Yeah. And then the other girl, she beat the cancer. The cancer was done. And I'm guessing she had to have a surgery, and she didn't make it out of the surgery. They both have kids. So I feel like on that end, I can tell myself I haven't seen you in a long time, but it'll still creep up.
Okay.
It'll still be like, well, you got to deal with it some way, somehow. And by that, I go to the island.
Okay.
I go to the island and I just sit, I lay on the beach. If I need to cry, I cry on the beach. But that's where I go to grieve, on that island. But going home doesn't feel like it'll do me any good because everybody's sad. So then it just makes me feel like I'm just coming around y'all to be sad. And I don't necessarily like to think of death in a sad light.
Okay.
Just because, especially with family, because like I said, I feel like I get a power up. Like I feel like you're an ancestor now. Now I have somebody else under my belt. It's like I have more people to like lean on, and then not even like I'm asking you for stuff, but sometimes like after that stuff happened when those ladies scammed me that I talked about, I woke up the next morning and it was a song playing that says, "When I woke up early this morning, I don't have any doubt. I didn't have any doubt." My grandma sang that song when I was a kid. I haven't heard my grandma sing in a choir in over 20 years, but I could hear her clearly singing this song. And I feel like I get that from when people pass away. It makes me feel closer.
Okay.
But with my friends, I feel like you have your own family to worry about. So I'm kind of just looking at your pictures and, trying to understand why this would happen to you.
Sure.
But accept the fact that it has happened at this point, and there's nothing I can do. But
do you think it's easier to grieve your friends and family at a distance, as in at a physical distance?
Yes.
You do?
I do. I know a lot of people like to have community around them.
Yeah.
But I think I only need community like when my parents go, because at that point I'm alone on earth. But now,
have you thought about that?
All the time.
Really?
I feel like since a kid, like that's the child of an only child. That's the life of an only child. You don't have a choice because it's inevitable. It's going to happen someday. So you are...
I think about my dad dying sometimes, and...
Are you only child on your dad's side?
No, I'm the favorite.
Oh, period.
I'm the youngest of 3. But yeah, I'm very close to my dad. And I think, like you say, it's inevitable. And I do like to think about it because I want to be as best prepared.
Yes, I agree. I have that same reaction. Like, I'm literally tearing up. How do we start making each other cry?
I don't know, but I'm trying to articulate and actually say some words.
Mhm.
But I feel like you think about it because you want to like be ready,
Yeah,
but you're never going to be ready.
yeah.
And even in like our travels and stuff, I don't know where we'll settle. And like you say, you know, with your friends, it can be anything, it can be anytime, anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I want to be close or if I want to be far. To be honest, I think it's probably mash up either way.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it's, as you said, in terms of your processing being further has helped. And I guess I just got a bit emotional because I don't know if anything can help.
Yeah,
You know?
I know. I find comfort now
Okay.
in this conversation, but this is something that I've done since childhood, where I am picturing the fact that one day I am going to be here by myself. I did eventually find out my dad had another child.
Okay.
So I do have my brother now for my dad, but it's just me and my mom.
Sure.
And I would rather, I consider, should I go home? Like, should I go and live close to my mom? Because it is me and her. But I would rather you see me go be all I can be in your lifetime versus me sitting up under you and you don't really know what I can do.
Sure.
And also, it's still my life. So I always give my mom an option, like, you can come live here. You don't have to pay no bills.
Right.
But she's been working for so long that she's like, I need a job. But what am I going to do when I'm there? I'm just going to be bored. And I'm like, be bored. Sit in that boredom. That's how I got to the point where I don't want to do anything that makes me feel aggressive, or I have to be aggressive, or I have to be rowdy, because life slow is just so great. And I like that. I think she likes that she gets to see me live this life.
Sure.
And but before now, when I lived at home, I feel like I was stressing her out.
Okay.
Like, she didn't know what I was going to do. And she always say, like, her goal is to make sure that I can survive without her. And she knew that I'd be fine, but she didn't really know what I was able to do.
Sure.
Because I'm just working jobs. And we both know I hate these jobs. Like, I'm very vocal. Like, my family, they're like, you can't keep a job. I've never tried to keep a job. It's not my thing. It's not my ministry. But that's all she knows.
Right.
So I feel like she was nervous. She was trying to figure out, what is this girl going to do? Like, if I go, she by herself. Like, and I think now she can go peacefully.
Okay.
So I make peace with that. The fact that I had to go do all that I could do, or you never was gonna go and, be comfortable, be happy, be confident in the fact that you can go on to your next version of life, or your next version of you, or whatever the case may be, and I'll be fine wherever you leave me. So I try to find comfort in that. Or even my grandma. Nobody else. I'm the first person to move out of the country.
Okay.
And nobody else really even moved out of the state. So, and my grandma was proud. My great grandma.
Sure.
And I found comfort in that. Like, you passed away. I haven't seen you in about a year, but I would FaceTime her. And I would talk to her, as much as I could. But I do think that she enjoyed seeing me go be all I could be versus me being up under her. So that kind of quiets that conflict. Like, should I go home and be with family because people are dying?
Right.
Or should I just keep being me, doing what I got to do? And I do this, a lot of it for my family. Like, I want to be the one to pass down generational wealth. Even if I don't have no kids, if I don't have any kids, I still have so many little cousins that I'm fine with, if I accumulate $1 million bajillion dollars, then I'm fine with dispersing it through all my little cousins and, my niece or my nephew. We're trying to figure out which one it is. But at that It's fine. It's not like I'm really doing it for me.
Sure.
I'm doing it for my family. So if I got to sacrifice me being at this birthday party or this graduation, so maybe 10 years down the line, those kids don't have student loans,
Right.
then I'm cool with that. I feel like I'm not missing nothing. Y'all might be missing me, but I don't think I'm missing anything. And I'll FaceTime.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I don't think my emotions can take me any further in this conversation. Is there anything that you would have wanted to share that we didn't touch upon?
Oh, my grandma. When I
Okay.
woke up. So when we first talked, you were like, "Well, how did you move? Like, what was your deciding factor?" And I was in a relationship for 7 years. And we lived together for about 6 of those 7 years. We were young. We started out life together. But people have different pathways of life. Some people are called to take care of their families in their hometown, and some people are called to go out
Yeah.
and do whatever you do. And I woke up one morning, it was after my 25th birthday. And I just heard my grandma say, it's either this man or it's your dream life. Like, you have to choose right now. Are you going to be with this man and you're going to live in this local life and you're going to have kids and are you going to do that? Or are you going to go be the person that you always thought you were going to be? And I'm happy that I chose me. I feel like that was my first time choosing me. It was my first time making a decision that I didn't think of anybody else but me.
Okay.
Like, it was just, how am I going to get to, because I'm also depressed because I haven't got to this point to be me. So it's like, not only would I be taking on depression because of ADHD, you would be taking on depression for this relationship.
Sure.
And it was like, it wasn't him. He wasn't a bad dude. It wasn't a bad relationship, but it just didn't align with where I was supposed to go. And so I fought with that idea for a good little minute because everything was going fine. Like I said, it wasn't a bad relationship.
Sure.
And then I just wake up and a ghost is like, you gotta leave. And I'm comfortable. I'm spoiled. I'm only child. So I'm in this relationship. I'm super spoiled. I'm getting cars and everything. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean I need to go? But she was right. My grandma was right. It was either I was going to be distracted by what I was getting at that point,
Right.
Or I was gonna go and make a life for myself.
How long before waking up and hearing this really strong message to actually finishing the relationship and leaving?
It was all like within the same year. Our
Really?
lease was almost up,
Okay.
so I did finish a lease.
Right.
And after I finished the lease, that was it.
Yeah.
I told him like the next day, like I don't think we're gonna be together.
Wow.
And from there, like, it was we were cordial in the house together. We had a 2-bedroom already, so it was kind of easy to like separate our lives. But then, yeah, after that, we just moved out, and I lived with my friend for about 3 months because I was moving an hour and a half away.
Right.
So I would go back and forth to like look for apartments.
Right.
And then within 3 months, I got an apartment. I moved away, and that was my test run to see how would I react being so far from my mom and like anybody that I knew. And I called my aunt and I told her that I was like, I'm going to move here and then I'm going to move away. And she was like, I don't think you should move there. I think you should just go. And I said, well, when I go, I'm going to be leaving the country.
Right.
So I do want to take this step. And she was like, yeah, well, if you're going to leave the country, then maybe you should.
Right.
And I did. And after my lease, she called me and she was like, do you remember when you said that you were going to go and then you were going to leave? And I was like, yeah, it made me more confident because I got the message. I was obedient to the message.
Right.
I did whatever I had to do because there were things that tripped me up about moving here. Like the fact that nobody says no.
What do you mean?
Like, nobody says no here. If you, like you said, when you're looking for apartments and they're like, this is available, and they know it's not available before they say yes, but they don't want to say no.
Okay.
And it happens a lot to where I've been in a car with strangers because the company didn't want to tell me no. Or so, like, there has been things that I have to maneuver here.
Right.
But I definitely feel like I don't regret giving up what I gave up, because like my life now is so much better. I live
If you
a
left
easier
Cambodia
life.
tomorrow for the next adventure, what are you going to miss the most?
In the mornings when I wake up, no matter what apartment I live in, there's music playing, but it's it's a specific instrument that they're using. I don't know what it's called. It kind of looks like a piano, but it kind of looks like a xylophone,
Okay.
but it's wooden, and I don't know, it makes a really cool sound,
Right.
and I always hear it, and I love that sound. I love the instrumental music that I hear here.
It's like, for me in Jamaica, it's the sound of crickets at nighttime.
Really?
Yeah, like even if I speak to someone on the phone, I can hear it in the background, and like that is the overwhelming, like, oh, you're
Feeling.
home. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely that music for me. And you can hear it riding down the street. Like there will be people on the side of the street playing that instrument.
Sure.
So everywhere I go, I'm hearing it. If I go to a spa, a restaurant, like I said, outside of my house, if I wake up at 4:00 in the morning,
You can hear
they're playing that. And I really love that sound.
Amazing.
I can listen to like instrumentals of it at that point. But I haven't experienced it in other Asian countries, just Cambodia.
If your life was a postcard, what would the picture look like?
I would be... My life was a postcard. I would look real cute, and I would have some cute sunshades, and I would be sitting on Earth, and it would say, "Welcome to my world."
Amazing.
Yeah, I think that's really what I think of life at this point. We call, like, all of my friends, we call this Mobodia. This is Mobodia. 'Cause, like...
I love that. I love that. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Cool.